2 Kings 4. In the days of the prophet Elisha, the power of God moved mightily through his hands to help those in need. A poor widow came to him in desperation. Her husband, a man of God, had died. Now, a creditor threatened to take her 2 sons as slaves. Elisha asked her, "What do you have in your house?" She answered, "Only a small jar of oil." With calm assurance, Elisha told her to borrow many empty vessels from her neighbors, not just a few. Then, behind closed doors, she and her sons poured oil into each vessel. The oil miraculously flowed until every jar was full. "Sell the oil," Elisha said, "pay your debt and live on the rest." Then came the story of a Shunammite woman, a kind and wealthy lady who honored Elisha with hospitality. She even built a small upper room for him to stay whenever he passed by. Moved by her kindness, Elisha promised her a son, though she had none. As foretold, she bore a child, but years later, tragedy struck. The boy collapsed and died. Heartbroken but full of faith, she journeyed to find Elisha. He came back with her, entered the room where the boy lay, and cried out to God. Stretching himself over the child, the boy miraculously came back to life. Joy returned to the house of the Shunammite. Later, during a famine, Elisha and the sons of the prophets prepared a stew, but unknowingly, wild gourds poisonous were added to the pot. As they ate, the men cried out, "Man of God, there is death in the pot." Elisha threw in some flour, and by God's power, the stew became safe to eat. And again, God's provision was seen when a man brought 20 loaves of barley bread and fresh grain as an offering. Elisha said, "Give it to the people to eat." "But how can this feed 100 men?" the servant asked. Elisha replied, "They will eat and have some left." And, just as he said, they all ate, and there was food left over, reminding us that with God, little becomes much. In all these stories, God's love is revealed not just to kings and nations, but to widows, mothers, the hungry, and the faithful. Through Elisha, the God of Israel showed he is a God who provides, restores, and never forgets his people.